Good afternoon. Welcome to the Q.A.C. team podcast. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I've been waiting for this one.
Well,
Awesome. So let's go ahead and get started and tell our audience who you are and what you do.
yeah, my name's Chris Green, and I'm one of the co-creators of Skyrocket Coffee. We are an online brand that can be found on our website and on Amazon now.
Oh, that's great. Even on Amazon. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah, we are. Yeah, that was really exciting and why I want to make sure that our meeting was a little bit pushed out because we were right in the process and we just went live like literally at the beginning of this week. Our listings are live, our fulfillments all been inventoried with Amazon. So now viewers can go right over there, check out our listings by typing in Skyrocket Coffee, and you'll see all our whole bean SKUs are available for prime shipping.
That's a huge step. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was a bit of an undertaking, and
Yeah,
it's the new way, and we wanted to make sure that we're making it as easy as possible for people to obtain our products and enjoy them.
absolutely. Yeah. 1000%. Just another way to get it out there.
That's right. What did
That's
you
awesome. I'm sorry.
did you get to try our coffee?
I did not personally. I'm not a coffee drinker. I apologize. I stepped away about 25 years ago for the caffeine because my doctor said I can't have caffeine,
Hmm.
and I passed it to my kids and said, "Kids, give me a review." So
Oh,
I can't wait to get with my kids and see what their take is.
all right. We always got decaf for you too.
Oh, okay, yeah. And what's one of the things, right? I stepped away because decaf coffee never really tastes good. So
Yeah. That's not to take us too far off track, but that was something that we spent a lot of time finding a good decaf because funny enough, I was the reverse. So I was caffeine free. And then as we got into the business, I became more of a or a coffee connoisseur. And the first thing I noticed is that people did not focus, or not people, but these companies, it wasn't a primary focus. Decaf just isn't necessarily one of their priorities. But it was for me. So we really went and worked hard to find a good decaf. But I'll get you some samples, see if you feel the same.
Oh, I'd really appreciate that. Absolutely. We'll talk about that. Absolutely. That'd be cool because I haven't found anything, in decaf. That's why I gave up. It's like I don't even want to touch coffee. Green tea guy here.
Hey, that's not bad either. Green tea is good, but I know what you're saying. I was on the hunt myself because as I started to become more a coffee drinker, I couldn't find a good decaf either. It was really that's what I noticed was missing out there. So
Gotcha. Yes, let's the next question is, so why did you decide to be a business owner? Tell the audience a little bit about that.
yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of been something, both my parents were entrepreneurs, and so it's kind of in the blood. It's something I grew up watching them, with their small businesses, and I knew at a pretty young age that I was destined to start, to do something, start something on my own, be in an entrepreneur space, and I kind of, I guess, best way to put it was a bit of a serial entrepreneur along the way, learning the hard knocks of business ownership out there in the business world, not necessarily in the classroom. But so, this is a accumulation of all that experience, this coffee, this company, this direction. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome. This is my
yeah.
third time around, so I'm learning the hard way three times.
Sometimes it takes a few. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
I I can look back and I can see everything that we use in this business model is all pieces that we've learned in different parts of different ventures that, I've been a part of along the way. And I think that's sort of was part of the design was like, well, what experiences have I had and what would work moving forward and what would be a good
Mhm.
industry to, you know, dip my feet into and really jump in.
Yeah, and what's a great segue to my next question, is
Sure.
why did you choose this industry?
Coffee. We were looking for a vehicle that would allow us to leverage the power of the internet and be able to be something that could really scale as a small company. You have an opportunity here with coffee production. I can actually scale this model. I'm not really hindered with heavy regulations. All of the industry's well established. It's been around a long time. So, I came from an industry more recently that's heavily regulated, and I was limited to where I could sell the product, how I could sell the product. And so I really wanted to go into something that I was able to use all these wonderful tools that are now available to us, like the internet, the social media, how you and I met, how we're having this conversation, and be able to have this conversation. Say, I have something that you can buy now. You can go and take from our conversation. You can go over to Amazon or my website, and you can purchase this product. And so I wanted that power. I didn't want it to be something where it's a service or something that you have to travel here to Texas and go to my store to, that wasn't what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Coffee being something that's has a large audience. I think of Richard Branson and him famously saying, they were saying, why would you go into a crowded market? He goes, well, because I know there's an audience for what I'm doing, so while it
Yeah.
could be in some people's eyes very saturated, very well established, to me, that's opportunity because it has all the key pieces, and I'm not having to reinvent the wheel or having to create, I can just go in and take what works and run with that, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of experience in this industry to pull from. So as I scale, as
Mm,
I look for help, there's people already in this industry, well established in it, that we can pull resources from or get advice from. And those are all things that I wanted in the next venture, was those types of things. And I wanted a large audience to market my products to. So that was
yeah.
my call. And we wanted something that everybody, that wasn't age regulated in the sense like 18 and up, not like 21 and over, or anything
Yeah.
of that nature. It didn't have any weird things to do with when it comes to marketing. It's not like certain products have certain regulations around them. We're pretty free to do as we please. uh and one of the things that's really important to us is paying the gifts of self-development forward. And the way we do that is with supporting literacy programs. And that was something that coffee I saw as like an object, a product that lots of people could participate in and support, what we're doing at a low cost, and then,
Absolutely.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the long short of coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. Love it. So real quick, tell us a little bit about what's behind the name. I'm curious.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So Skyrocket was the direction in which our trajectory. So it's like my wife and I take these evening walks here in this park that we live by, and we had a pretty long list of names, and in a search that we had done, this Skyrocket came up, and I was like, wow, that's kind of an interesting name. And so we started to kind of kick it around a little bit, and it took to us because it was like, yeah, this is who we are. This is what we're doing. This business is accumulation of all the things that we've tried and experienced. And this time around, we want to skyrocket with it. We want to take off. It's a trajectory. We want to get out there. We want to be bold, be big, help people, and make a big difference. And so Skyrocket, we felt encompassed all those things that were important to us. And
That's awesome.
that's how that came about.
Yeah. That's awesome. I don't know if you notice in my logo, it's kind of same thing, right? Blue's pointing up, red's pointing down. We want to go in one direction, one goal, one direction, success.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's
just
exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah, see, and when I saw everything you were about, I'm like, this just kind of like it kind of fits what I'm about. So I can't wait to talk to you guys. And this is like
Yeah.
this is exciting. That's why I want to talk to you. I can't wait for this interview. This is great because we're like in the same direction. That's why I want to ask about how you got the name.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great.
Yeah,
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah. Yeah.
good stuff. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you face getting started and
Yeah, so it's been there's been a few challenges, and more in the world of the changes to how business is conducted online and how you market and the messaging, how this all works. There are some preconceived notions that we were going to be able to hire a lot of this. A lot of people get into business, or not, I don't want to say a lot of people, but we had a thought that you could kind of hire away some of these services, and it wasn't going to be a big deal. Like social media wouldn't be this big deal. We just need to have a good presence on it. We'll just put up a website, and business will pour in, and whatever these thoughts are you have initially, and you kind of get into it. And the reality was is we were not participating in social media at the level to really learn and know what was going on. And as we got into this business, we got really quickly, we learned this isn't a hands-off thing. You really need to know yourself how it works so you know what you're trying to even hire out. And we really found that at the level in which you got to participate with your presence online, you got to do a lot of that initially under your own umbrella, because it requires so much, and it's hard for a startup. Unless you have very, very deep pockets, it's hard to hire that and pay that out. It's not cheap. So a lot of what
Yeah.
you see us doing is just us. We've created, we've done the editing, we've done the work. So we had to teach ourselves editing, we had to teach ourselves AI. We had to learn these things. Amazon, when we first spoke to our rep over there, when they approached us and said, "Hey, would you be interested?" And they said, "Well, who's going to handle your Amazon listings?" I said, "Well, we are. We're it. We're doing all this." So it's husband wife team, and we put in the hours, and we figure it out. So it's like, I think that would be probably what was one of the challenges that we didn't necessarily. It's like when you look at the production and the other things that we did, there was a lot of that was we were ready to go with. This part was like a little bit shocking when we found out how much you really need to do to be effective. You can do a little, you can dabble, but if you're really going to make a presence and really get a following, you really have to be engaged and you have to be immersed in it. And it's not as easy as it may appear. I think sometimes it looks easier.
That's a great point you make, right? Because people think, looking at it from the outside looking in, oh, look, they have this beautiful coffee shop and they got all this stuff, and oh, this was easy to do. I'm gonna go do it. Until you
Yeah,
realize you get into it, and it's like, wow, this is harder than I thought because, like I said, it's my third time around. First time straight mystery shopping, second time was an app. Now, third time is back doing what I'm doing now. And it's a beast, you
it's a
know?
beat.
Yeah, and I would love to pick your brain, going through the future on, your success and your failures and how you push through things because, I love learning from people. Of learning, how they got where they That's why I do my podcast. I love to know, you know, as my questions say, what made you successful? How are you doing this? And pick the brain so our listeners can hear these stories and see what made people successful and what the struggles were and how they can do what they want to do and not fear becoming an entrepreneur if they so choose.
Yeah, I love that, because there is,
Yeah.
most of what you hear if you're listening out there to different things is more the finished product, the finished story, the success story. Like, oh yeah, we ground it out in 10 years, now we're $100 billion company, or whatever, maybe that's, but these are the stories. Like, when you're looking at entrepreneurship and whether or not you want to make a decision to be an entrepreneur, this is the stories you want to hear, because this is you're on the grind. We're in it right now. We haven't hit this glorious, there is no, I don't know that there ever is this point where you really kick your feet up, but it's like really hearing this part, the grind. You need to hear about this, because this is where you want to know whether you're in or out, because looking at the finish line and people who have reached the goal, you get you kind of get excited about when you get there, but you need to hear more about what it really took for them to get there. The sacrifice, it's real. The sacrifice is real. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
What a great word for it. I mean, there's no other word to say other than that. I mean, yes, we're passionate about it and we love what we do, but there's
yes,
still that sacrifice because we love what we do. We will give up everything trying to make these businesses succeed.
yes.
Yeah. So what are your expectations for you guys in the next year or two?
Well, we're growing like crazy. We would we would love to be the number one coffee selling on Amazon in 2 years. We would love to see that. But our goals are to uh we want to double, we want to triple, we want to keep growing. I don't know how else to put it. We're right now, you're talking to me at the startup stage. So right now it's just I'm putting in the hours, putting in the sacrifice and building, and seeing that, we want to get to that point where we're hiring and actually expanding. And in 2 years, we'd love to see ourselves double in size and finish out our build in the sense of, right now we're running 2 roasting machines. We want to be running 4 to 5 here in a couple of years. So we have some pretty aggressive goals on that side. But more so than the personal goals, we want to be really making an effective difference in our goal to support literacy programs through the sales of our coffee. So while we know we have a great product, we want more people to find out about us. We want more people trying our product and maybe switching from what they've been accustomed to and trying something that they're going to find to be pretty exciting, because that's the one thing that we are is different. We're air roasted, and air roasting has a completely different flavor profile than traditional roasting methods. And that's something that it's still very new on the market. You don't see a lot of companies doing it. So we really want to get it out there because it's a much more sustainable model, and it's a much more better tasting coffee. And so we're really, that's what we want to do. Is the goal is really to get exposure, get more brand awareness out in the marketplace.
And, that's why I'm thankful of having a business model I have to help you do that. I'm very thankful and grateful that I'm able to do what I do. And I love to promote small businesses. I'm glad you're on, and I'm glad we're having this partnership here where we're doing a podcast.
We appreciate it. We love it. Like, we love
Absolutely.
this. So thank you for doing
Absolutely.
your part. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but if you go to my homepage, your video, your unboxing video is at the bottom of my homepage. I'll put it up there for you. It's been up there for
Oh,
a couple of weeks now. Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna check it out. I
Yeah.
saw the video, but I didn't know you posted it to your site.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I
Thank
wanted
you.
to because a little shout out to you here, even in your own podcast. It came great. The box was great when I opened it up. You saw it. When I opened up, I took pictures in the video. It was laid out great. Yeah, I think you have a good product. You have a good product.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
absolutely. Yeah.
It's, it's
So
such an
how do our listeners reach out to you? How do we find you and contact you?
Absolutely. So you can go travel over to our website at skyrocketcoffee.com, and we have tons of information there. One cool thing I just want to note on that is that you can buy so our whole beans. So we have whole bean ground K cups. We have all these different offerings. Currently, our whole beans are the item that you can buy on Amazon. For
Okay.
so they'll see, but when they go to when they go to skyrocketcoffee.com, they're going to see that some of those whole bean offerings, we even have a Prime button that you can buy directly from our website now for those items. So that's kind of an excited feature that's new from Amazon that we have on our website, but also you can travel over to Amazon. If you're just an Amazon shopper and you have your app open, you can just type in Skyrocket Coffee and all our listings pop right up. So
Very
if they
cool.
want to follow along in social media and all that, please travel to the website. At the bottom is all our handles. It's just a click away. So whatever you choose, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, we cover it. We are primarily focused on Instagram, and you'll kind of see that with our following. That's where you're going to find most of our action and where we're really active.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of the
Yeah.
same with me. I'm dabbling with TikTok since I still have it and deleted like a lot of people did.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get big on Instagram, Facebook. It's a challenge. Social media is a challenge in itself, just trying to keep up with it all. And I'm sure you're the same way.
Yes. It is a
Yeah.
challenge, and you kind of got to like pick your lane a little bit where you're getting the most traction. Where I know a lot of people, a lot of the more famous people online are saying, oh, diverse and make sure you're on all platforms. I think having presence on all of them, posting all of them. But I'm going to tell you from a small business owner, to try to put that much energy into 3 different platforms you're just going to need a small team for that.
I,
You know.
I'm feeling it. I'm by myself feeling it. It's been a challenge. Oh, and don't forget, I'm on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah. Oh,
So
there's LinkedIn too. Yeah. I can't even, I don't, it's like another ad platform. It's another system. I'm just like,
yeah. Yeah, the struggle is real, and I'm trying to keep up. And like you said, I'm trying to find which lane is best for me. So I'm
yes.
trying to promote and push all of them right now to see where I'm headed. And right now, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's a lot.
I think you're right. I think you're right on the plan though, that you just got to kind of see which one starts to take, and for us Instagram seems to be the tried and true. I mean, our followership is growing daily over there, but all the other, the TikTok and the other one are very slow to grow. TikTok, one of the things I noticed is that you're not going to see a lot of real engagement. But if you look at your viewership, you're going to see your viewership climb, but it's changed so much since it's first arrived. It's like the way people interact with social media has completely changed. I mean, you probably know this name, but Gary Vanderchuck is a great guy to follow. He's very smart about how social media is working, basically the psychology around how people are interacting with it. And I pay a lot of attention to what he's saying. And that's why I've sort of I use a later social to post on all my, to manage my calendar. So I have postings, but they're all the same going to all three channels because the other two aren't my biggest engagement. IG is my big one. So we just kind of focus there, but we post to the others. And
Right.
that's kind of how we work it.
Yeah, back in the day when a lot of those tools were free, I was able to post
Oh,
on all social medias at one time, but you can't do that for free now.
no, it's all changed, right? That was the days. That was the other thing too, is when you're thinking about online businesses, you do need to take that into account that one time having a website and having a little social presence drove tons of business to you. It's saturated now and there's a lot going on. And so you have to do a lot of work to get eyeballs coming to you and getting the credibility and the proof and all these things that have people, become customers. It's not just post and go.
Yeah,
It's a lot more
it
strategy.
is. Yeah. Yep. And I'm in an industry all by myself because there's nobody doing what I'm doing, and
That's
it's making it challenging for me.
that good and bad though, right?
Right.
Good and
Yeah.
bad, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
because I
Definitely good and bad. But what I struggle with though is people don't know me. They don't trust me. So I got to
mm,
build that trust. I got to build that presence, and I'm working on that, one at a time with my show, Chasing the Stars. And I'm starting my third episode next week. We'll start filming. And that's the way I'm trying to get my presence out there. And my trust is what I'm doing is legit because we're professionals. We're not just anybody screaming on Google and Yelp, you know?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
That is
Thank
it.
you.
I think that's excellent. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like what you're doing is a different lane than what's traditionally out there. Like we said, like most podcasts are about the success story. You're talking to the entrepreneur on the path. And I
Yeah.
think that's huge, giving the
Yeah.
small business guy a voice in this crowded world. So we
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you.
And to help you grow, right? Because I want to see everybody
Yeah.
grow just like I'm growing. And my thought process is hopefully come back in this and 3, 4, 5 years from now and re-interview everybody.
Oh,
Say, hey,
yeah.
Chris, how you doing in 5 years? And be like, hey, look, I'm a multimillionaire now. Look at all the coffee I got,
Yeah.
and hear the success and see all the things that we went through to get where you were to where you are. That's my
I
goal.
love that.
Thank
Love
you.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do it. Yeah.
that's my goal, man. Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
So what else, man? What do you got for us for in closing here?
Hell, hey, so if you guys come over there to skyrocketcoffee.com, I can extend a 20% discount off your first orders using code BLAST OFF. That's BLAST OFF. And that's on our website though. So you're not going to be able to do that over on Amazon. That only is effective if you go straight to our website. We're extending that to your audience. And I just thank you very much for having us and giving us this voice and this platform to share and just extend the message. Please check us out. We're doing some great things, and especially not just in the coffee space, but in the coffee space, we are doing special things over there. So I'm excited to see what your audience thinks of air roasted coffee versus traditional drum roasted, and then again literacy is a real crisis in America, and it's astounding that we're having such a problem. And so we're doing our part, and we're partnered with the Reading is Fundamental Foundation. So that's on our mission page, and the audience can learn a lot more details about the statistics and what's really going on out there. And that's what we're all about, is impacting that and lowering that number and increasing, the literacy rates of our children in this beautiful country we live in.
That's great. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Keep doing good work, Chris.
Well,
Love it.
we figure if it all starts with reading. I mean, if you can't read and you can't comprehend, your chances of success are gonna be quite a bit lower. And reading is a huge passion of ours. It's what's had us be successful is continued education and learning about how we work and learning about business. And that all takes reading, I mean, it just takes reading. So
That is
thank
so
you.
true. Yeah, that is true, man. Chris, thanks again for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it. Look forward to chatting with you soon in the future, man. We'll keep in touch.
Thank you. Take
Absolutely.
care.
Thanks for coming on. Take care, man. Have a great
Bye-bye.
rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
You've been listening to the Q.A.C. Team podcast with your host, Charles Luttrell. Connect with us on the web at QACteam.com, TikTok at Q.A.C. Team, Facebook and Instagram at QAC.team. Thanks for your support.